So all this week, we've been talking about the difference between reality and the imaginary world that we see on the news and from Hollywood. Yesterday provided us with some stirring examples of the disparity between the two worlds. For instance, here is Donald Trump at a televised meeting on immigration yesterday.
I feel having the Democrats in with us is absolutely vital because this should be a bipartisan bill. This should be a bill of love. Truly, it should be a bill of love, and we can do that. But it also has to be a bill where we're able to secure our border. Drugs are pouring into our country at a record pace. A lot of people are coming in that we can't have.
And here's the news, CNN's Brian Stelter discussing Donald Trump.
President Trump's fitness for office is now the top story in the country. Reporters and some lawmakers are openly talking about the president's mental stability, his health, his competency.
Let's try that again. Here's Trump at the meeting.
These are measures that will make our community safer and more prosperous. These reforms are supported by the overwhelming majority of Americans from every standpoint, from every poll, and they're being requested by law enforcement officers. I had a big meeting with ICE last week. I had a big meeting with the Border Patrol agents last week. Nobody knows it better than them. As an example on the wall, they say, sir, we desperately need the wall. And we don't need a 2,000-mile wall. We don't need a wall where you have rivers and mountains and everything else protecting. But we do need a wall for a fairly good portion.
Okay, and now here's author Michael Wolff talking about Donald Trump.
That goes beyond saying, okay, the president's not an intellectual. I mean, what are you arguing there? You say, for example, that he was at Mar-a-Lago and didn't recognize lifelong friends.
I will quote Steve Bannon. He's lost it.
He's lost it. Let's do this one more time. Here's Trump at the meeting.
The animosity and the hatred between Republicans and Democrats. I mean, I remember when I used to go out in Washington and I'd see Democrats having dinner with Republicans and they were best friends and everybody got along. You don't see that too much anymore. I have all due respect. You really don't see that. When was the last time you took a Republican out to? Why don't you guys go out and have dinner tonight? But you don't see it. So maybe, and very importantly, totally different from this meeting, because we're going to get DACA done. I hope we're going to get DACA done, and we're going to all try very hard. But maybe you should start bringing back a concept of earmarks. It's going to bring you together. You're going to do it honestly. You're going to get rid of the problems that the other system had, and it did have some problems. But one thing it did is it brought everyone together. And this country has to be brought together.
Okay, that's your president. Now let's listen to the people in Hollywood talking about the president.
He's an idiot. Colin Powell said it best. He's a national disaster. He's an embarrassment to this country. It makes me so angry that this country has gotten to this point, that this fool, this bozo, has wound up where he has. He talks how he wants to punch people in the face. Well, I'd like to punch him in the face.
So to be fair here, there really was a time back during the campaign when Donald Trump would talk about some crazy stuff, like he would talk about Barack Obama being born in Kenya, which he wasn't, or he'd say that Ted Cruz's father had been part of the conspiracy to kill John F. Kennedy, which was absurd. And all that was fun, right? But now that Trump is running the country, he seems to move on and to have stopped talking about crazy stuff. But the media, the news media in Hollywood, are still talking about the crazy stuff, which makes me think that one of them was pretending to be crazy and the others are just plain nuts. Trigger warning, I'm Andrew Klavan, and this is The Andrew Klavan Show.